Hello, my name is GregTech, and welcome back to our GregTech New Horizons Season 2. I'm just over by my... that stuff. I don't know however you say it. And I have noticed a couple times here when you set it to... you like lock it to one recipe. Sometimes when you log into the world, at least for me, sometimes they get kind of screwed up, and I'm not entirely sure if it's something I'm doing or what it is. It's basically the shared hatches. It can do 2 recipes, and then sometimes it gets locked to like the wrong one or something. I'm really not sure what is actually happening with that. I don't know if it's like when you log in, it does a process and then it gets locked to that. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's like resetting every time I log in. And then sometimes it just happens to do the right one. Maybe that's what it is. But it definitely feels like I've had to reset these a few times on login. So something is definitely a little bit screwy with that. But we're back. And everything should be, yeah, we're good. And that will just continue processing that. Because I was trying to decide how I want to power a pump on another thing. Like I have the miner and it's using the dragon egg, but I only have 1 dragon egg, so it's a bit of a pain. We're not using it right now, so I could go grab it and put it on something else. But if I want something running permanently, I don't have to keep like switching dragon eggs around. And plus, the other thing is the pump. The 8x8 now requires a IV energy hatch. Although now that I'm thinking about it, it might require an IV energy hatch, but it's probably not. It might only be pulling like half an amp or something like that. I was just thinking, I'm like, I can't run that off the Grandmaster. I think it's a Grandmaster, isn't it? Yeah. It's not going to run off this because this is EU. So there are... one of the ways I was thinking was doing one of these reactors, and then we could just like use ender chests to send rods up. Like this one is rods. The EV one is just bolts. I was just thinking, I'm like, would it be easier? I guess a rod is, what, 4 bolts? No. It's more efficient, so I was thinking, like, would 4 of these be better than 1 of these, but... no, I think... yeah. The only problem is, I don't have an endless supply of enriched rods. I'm not... I mean, I have a whole bunch of the enriched stuff. I haven't started processing it down, though. Because this concentrated stuff, basically the whole line ends up with concentrated, and it has to go through one of these neutron activators. The problem is this needs a different one, a different kinetic energy than we have over there. But if we look at this, we also do get a quadria out of it, but we need 16 concentrated, gets you a whole lot. That. All right, I'm gonna have to think about that. Main reason I want this is because now that we have the fusion reactor, we can start making plasma, and basically the first one is helium plasma. Now there's two ways to produce this. One is with tritium, I think it is, tritium and deuterium, or helium-3 and deuterium. Well, tritium is... yeah, you get it from deuterium. So it's a bit of a pain. You have to produce deuterium, and then you have to produce tritium from part of that deuterium. So really the easiest way to do it is just do helium-3. So you just produce that, and you can get this really easy. I mean, that is a huge vein. I mean, obviously it's 0 to 11250. It doesn't mean you're going to get a great one, but that is relatively easy to get. I may actually go grab, since we're not doing the miner anymore, we needed it for galena. Now we're out of sphalerite, so don't need galena anymore. I could just go borrow. What's up? Actually, let me upgrade. Let me upgrade that pump. Right now we're doing the pump 3, the drilling rig. I'm gonna upgrade it to 4, I think. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that, and then we'll start pumping helium-3. I actually have some helium-3. I don't remember where this came from. I do have it. Yeah. And really quick, I just went to pick up the miner, and you can actually see the entire thing that is mined out. It does seem like whatever chunk you're standing in, or put the miner in, the bottom right will be the center. So that seems to be like that'll be the center chunk, and then it goes out however many you had it. I think I had 48, so 3 chunks by 3 chunks, I think it was. So that's good to know. So it's the bottom right corner is of the chunk that you're in is the center of the thing. I didn't actually know. I wasn't entirely sure. So it's actually good to actually see a better visual of it. But yeah, I just figured I would do that. I'm grabbing the miner because obviously it's done. I could have grabbed some more platinum. I'm not going to worry about it. We might come back. There's more galena and stuff. But for now, I think we are good. Okay, before I fly up to the next planet again, I wanted to see if this would actually work. And might, because I don't think it actually pulls a full amp of IV. So broke down the miner because we're not using it. And we'll see if this actually works. I don't really want that many pipes. I could just put them in there, but... Alright, looks like it did run out of power. It didn't run off. If I hit this again, it should say enabled. Yeah. Alright, so it is not getting enough power. I didn't think it was going to, but I thought, possibly. But I wanted to make sure before I did it. Was it the miner? It might have been the single block miner that I'm thinking of. The miner. I think I was doing... Yeah, so like the advanced miner, the HV one only uses an MV amp. But obviously the multi-blocks are a bit different. All right, so I am going to have to do... I am gonna have to do a different power source. There are other ways you could do it, but I'm not exactly about to. I don't want to like build a combustion hole multi-block. You could do that, pipe up our cetane fuel or whatever. You could even do like solar panels, but don't think is there. It's this one. I mean, none of that's bad, but it's this part that's bad. Although this is just CPM stuff. I mean, technically we could craft this up. We could do IV solar panel. I think once you start getting above IV, it starts getting a pain. Yeah, so LUV solar panel requires UHV tier. It is a huge jump up in difficulty, but IV is actually not an issue. What happens if I just do, like, we have a whole bunch of this stuff. Okay, so we process this in here. I throw like a few stacks in here manually. We get a absolute ton of this stuff. It is 11 to 1. There is a couple ways to do it. You could just throw it through an electrolyzer to get the enriched, which is probably the easiest way. Then I don't have to deal with zinc and then getting the zinc back from that. I don't think it's... Both ways are 11. 11 of the dust gets you 1 ingot. Same with this. It's just an extra step. You would have to smelt that in the blast furnace. So how many? So 16 of that gets 128. 165 is that? Divided by 11. So you almost get, it's almost like a 1-to-1. It is. Alright, so that's a decent amount. I'm just trying to think, like, how long is this actually going to last if I do this? Let's try that. What we're going to do... Probably empty. Yeah, I'm just going to disable that for a second. We got problems over here. We got problems. Problem solved. Alright, so I'm going to disable that, but I am going to put this up, and I think I'm just going to do a bunch of this manually. Is that going to, like... I actually don't know how much you can output with the ME bus, to be honest. Because this would, like, fill up an HV... Okay, maybe not an HV hatch, but... Like, is there only 16 slots, or does it... Could you put, like, 100 in there with the one that goes directly into the A system? I actually don't know. Okay, so what was the... Okay, so like 470. We're at 220. I'm gonna adjust this to 470. Where was the... There it is. 470. Yeah, that didn't let me... Can't click on that unless it's facing me. Oh well. And that should be going up. Yeah, so once it gets to 470, I'll throw this back and then I will just turn that back down. And I guess, well, I don't have any of the enriched. I was like, I remember having a recipe for that, but apparently we did. Yeah, I don't have any. Actually, I could probably put it in. Is it enrich something dust? Enriched sulfate or. Yes, enriched. You can't put it in. You can't put it in through there. I thought you could. Alright, so let me do this. We will get this. Let me also craft up the reactor. So that one. I think we have 241. I can't remember. Everything else we can do, not a problem. And I also need something. What did I need? Oh, a ender chest and ender tank, which these are a bit of a pain to craft up, but they're not too bad at this point. I just have to manually put it in there. Everything we can just automatically craft up all that. Okay, I'm actually testing these ender tanks because now that we can, or the ender tank fluid cover, because now we can craft them up. They are LUV. It is pretty expensive, but not too unsurprising. I'm considering they are like wireless. I think just going to grab some of this to test it out. And I tested it. I tested it before, but it was same dimension. So now I have actually just crafted up the items. We will test it if it works cross dimension, because that is what I don't know. So in theory, we do this. We'll have, that's the output hatch. That, and basically what I think happens is the ender fluid tanks, you do import and it pulls the fluid into the ender, whatever it says. I think it says the ender, doesn't it? Yeah, link it to the ender. And then if you want to export it on the other side into a tank, you do the export. And then we're both on channel 1. So in theory, if I put this in here, that should be going to... Actually, we'll just leave that. The tank that is in the base. And that way I don't need to worry about ender tanks. And you could do like the same with this and everything. And then just link it with that. But we should have a stack of... Yeah, there we go. Alright. So easy enough. That will pump the stuff into the base. Now the question is, how do I want to do that? I think I actually want... I think I want a bigger hatch. Yeah, we'll do... Wait. Did I? Ah, it's right there. I thought I had a bigger hatch on me. Alright, so... yeah, we'll do that, and then... that I can just put in here. We do need another ender chest, though, for the rods. I don't think there is any way to do the rods. There is the dimensional transceiver, which I think does items. But I don't have that stuff done. We'll just do a chest. I guess we'll do 2 chests. Oh, I have 2 chests. Nice. Probably got it from a quest reward. I don't remember. Or a loot bag. Okay, so I think we're good, actually. We got... oh, I don't have the... I need to do the reactor. Okay, so got all the concentrated stuff, the 800, and we've got 8,000 and something of the sulfate dust. So I think the easiest is just to send it through the electrolyzer. It's no... you don't lose any efficiency, and I just don't have to worry about that. I don't need sulfur. I don't need oxygen. We'll just do that. Also, I didn't even look at just medium volt. Okay, so there is that. We should be getting enriched. Yeah, lots and lots of enriched. Cool. Also, plutonium. I didn't have 241, but it's relatively easy. You just have to send 239 through a centrifuge, and it is just a small chance, but it's 20%, so it's not too terrible. I think I used about 32 or 30, I think, to get the 1 ingot worth of plutonium. So we got that and crafted up the reactor. So the last bit I need is this. Now we're gonna do, I guess, enriched rods. I do need that recipe. Now I totally didn't even look at... is it already done? Oh, there it is. Wow, that melted really quick. Alright, well that's not very fast. Or that's not very slow. And then over here, I just have a ender chest. I just did orange and black, I don't know. I figured black for the enriched and then orange because it's like radioactive. But I don't want this whole thing to fill up. I kind of just want like the 1, but I don't know if this might work. So I'm going to put this in there. Now that should do... I have a few acceleration, so that should do 32. Yeah, it's doing... oh, it's doing 64 once. Cool. How slow is that anyway? Got 28 seconds for 8, which is 16 rods. Alright, that's not too bad at all, though. Alright, so we need to get up to... I could even actually bring a conduit with a filter, actually. That way we don't even have to worry about... I was going to do a conveyor belt, but Might be easier just to do a filter with the rods. That way those stone breaks won't get pulled out. Alright, and then question is, where are we putting this? I'm thinking... Oh, first I need the machine controller and a fluid thing as well, because we don't want it just voiding everything. I think that's big enough. I may even do a bigger hatch. The, didn't I have a... Oh, I used to have a EV one. I think 64. This should be fine. Alright, so that will turn it off. And then I need a place to put this. I may actually do a tank. Maybe I'll do... Like, this will be the... Thinking... Like, this will be this part of it. So, export from the Ender into this thing. Now, I actually don't know... Oh, yeah, that's right. Channel. I was like, how do we filter that? But no, it's just the one. Alright, so that will import into there. I do need a P2P. Is that how I want to do this? Actually, I think I've changed my mind. We're gonna do... I think I'm gonna do a palladium tank over by the reactor. Maybe like over here. Okay, so this is what I have come up with. And we got our tank right there. I use the super tank, not necessarily because I want 4,000 buckets. It's more just because it has an auto output, whereas the smaller ones don't. So this will be ender tanked into there, and then obviously into the palladium tank. And that has a thing on the bottom into the fusion reactor. I may need a pump on there. I don't think I will. And then on this side, we're going to do the deuterium. Same thing. It's going to be pumped into this one underneath. And this is going to be centrifuging hydrogen. I guess it would be, yeah, this one, the, well, of course it's right there. So hydrogen to deuterium. I think doing this in parallel is better. So I have 4 EV ones as opposed to like 1 LUV. I think it might be better if I just do multiple lower tier, and I can ramp this up quite a bit. I have a whole separate line running down here. This can do 4 amps of LUV. So this is powering the fusion reactor. I have it hooked up right there. So I have it going into 4 of the energy hatches to power this thing. That uses about 2 amps of LUV. It doesn't use 4 amps of LUV. It's really only doing about 2 amps. So I have at least 1 full amp over here. So that would do what, like 16 of these centrifuges if I want to. We're going to put 4 in there. And yeah, that's only taking 2 ticks. So there we go. Now that is going to tear through our hydrogen. But there is our deuterium. Now that'll eventually all just fill this all up. There we can see it. And I'll let that run for a little while just to fill everything up. Now eventually once we get the next rocket, there is actually a... On T6, you can actually just pump it. So we will switch to that. So both will be helium and our other one will be pumped. But, alright, so there is that. I need to go up and get our helium 3. Then this is completely full with power. The more you feed the hatches, obviously, the faster it fills up. So let me go run up to... I don't remember where we're going. Where is the helium 3? Helium 3 is... Oh yeah, that's right. Ross 128 BA. So I'm going to place this down. We've seen this a bunch of times. We don't really need to see this. The only difference is we're using the reactor that we are producing our rods for. Really quick, if you haven't been on Ross 128 BA, which is the moon for Ross 128b, the day-night cycle is super quick. So definitely need night vision. And plus it's kind of a pain because all the stuff starts spawning. Okay, we are back and should be all up and running. Now I don't have this turned on yet, but there we go. There is our deuterium, there is our helium, which is filling up very quickly. Not unexpected though. Okay, so that should mean that is in there, and that is filling up as well. So, question is, what are we going to do with this plasma? And we are going to hopefully make some helium plasma, which we will feed into the heat exchanger, and that will produce our supercritical steam and our superheated steam, and we will make our power go absolutely crazy. We get so much power from fusion. But the only thing is, I don't know if we're going to be able to get this. I wanted to come out this hatch, but I don't know if it actually will, or is it going to be like a random. I hope if I do that, well... Oh, is it running? It might be on. Oh, no. There it is. Alright. It does look like it... It does look like it chooses the one with a filter on. So, there we go. There is helium plasma. We got our fusion reactor running. It'll continue to fill up. It does... We look here. It needed this one. It needed 60 million to start, and that number is determined. The amount it can hold is determined by the amount of energy hatches. It is 10 million per, and we have 16 LUV energy hatches, so that's why we have 160 million. But that is the absolute cap for this tier. So if you let's do this. This is 280 million. Well, we can't hold that much to start that, so that is... We can't do that recipe yet. But yeah, we'll have to upgrade our thing. But there we go, that we are getting helium plasma. So I am going to have to work out how we are going to use this helium plasma. Now we are just about producing enough. I can throw more centrifuges in here. The question is, are we producing enough hydrogen? So there is lots of kind of math getting this correct. I don't need tons of this stuff because this actually is... You don't use like a whole ton of helium plasma. You get so much out of it. So 197 million superheated steam out of 800 plasma. Whereas, what was the hot coolant? Is 3 million from 16 buckets of the stuff. So, yeah, it is absolutely crazy. And I'm going to have to sort out this stuff as well. But anyway, there we go. There is our fusion reactor running. And, yeah, feels pretty good. But anyway, that's going to be for today. So thanks for watching, and have a good one.